This is Ice Cream Gecko, and in today's video I'm going to take a look at the Wagner Rustipani leaf spinach. So I do like these Rustipanis. They came out a couple of years ago. They have not been around forever, but they every once in a while introduce some new flavorings, some new versions of those. This is actually, I think, one of the original versions that they put out when they rolled out the product at first, and I've got to say that this is one of my favorites. I definitely had this one before. It is lovely. We've got some onions, some cheese, some leafy spinach, and apparently it is vegetarian as well. I'm not a vegetarian, but that's okay for me. Here is the nutrition table. This is your preparation instruction. This is a lot of stuff that you can read if you want to, but I'm not going to for this video. Let's get this out of its packaging. Something I liked about these was this kind of weird plastic wrapping that they got going on, so that you can actually see some of it right here. But was it in this way or the other? I don't know. Maybe this is just a window for the person checking these boxes in the factory. I've got no idea. Anyways, get this opened up. So we can see our spinach all around, our cheese. What is this? This is spicy cream cheese cream, apparently. We've got some onions and not much more. I get this in the oven now. I put this in for 15 minutes at 220 degrees Celsius, non-preheated, as I always do, and when I need some more time on that, just leave it in the oven with the oven turned off for a couple of minutes. I'll see you when this is done. Back we are with the delicacy prepared. The cheese is mostly melted. There are some parts right here where it's just dried. That's just because the little shavings or gratings of those are much too small. They do not really, they dry out before they melt, kind of. That's the theme with those. But I've got to say, overall, the smell is very nice and it looks okay. So we're going to cut this open now, give it a little cross section, see how it is on the inside. You can definitely smell and see the cream cheese on the fork and knife. This is the bigger part, this is the smaller part right here. Quite a fluffy little dough. A bit thicker than your usual pizza dough. But that's really what they are. They aren't really pizzas, they are little rustique breads with some toppings on top. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to give this a taste test now. It does taste really good. The bread is kind of almost like an artisan bread. I think that's what they are. Those kinds of breads are called in America. The cream cheese, cream as it's stated on the package, in a different language though, is nice as well. It's still creamy. It is not too thick, not too runny. Quite decent in the consistency. The spinach is tasty enough for a frozen item. And the onions seem to be fine as well. Okay, I'm trying to get one of those on its own. Yeah, it still very much tastes like onion. It has not lost all of its flavor. That's what you get sometimes with onions. When you put them in the oven, you lose a lot of the flavor, and the rest that is there is slightly seeping into all the rest, all the stuff that is surrounding those little onions. So quite nice, quite nice. Overall, I've got to say, so far, pretty good. In the center right here, you can see that the topping amount is quite thick, as well as though it's very fluffy. You can bend this all day long. Very interesting. Quite juicy actually in the middle here. The sides, you know, the edges right there are quite crunchy, quite crispy, but the middle is nice and juicy. So the rest of this item I'm going to finish on my own. I've got to say though, as a conclusion, that I can definitely recommend this to anyone looking for something like this. It is very different from a pizza, so do not expect to get a pizza-like item right here. It's similar in a way that we've got dough and toppings on top, but the dough is very thick in comparison to regular pizza, quite fluffy, and the toppings completely cover it, so it's very juicy in the middle, and that doesn't really work with a big pizza because everything will just be completely soaked. So overall, I must say I do like these little Rustipanis. I've got a few more in the freezer, so you can expect some more of these in the short future. But the leaf spinach one right here, very enjoyable, really like it, and I can definitely recommend it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and maybe I'm going to see you soon. Until then, goodbye.